How's it going? Wooden Spoon Supercoach here with the spoon on my head. It's been a while. How do you feel, Mac? You had a crazy week last week. 11-22 is a massive score. You've smashed it.
Thank you very much. Yep, glad to have the crown back and to be reducing that difference there. You can see up above my head down to less than 500 points between us, which, considering your rank and mine means there's about 500 points difference. There's 25,000 ranks there. So pretty close as we go into the back end of the season. But yeah, pretty happy with the score this week. I just want to mention that's the third time I've been top 1%. That's a quarter of the season so far. I've had top 1% scores. Too bad the other three quarters were like bottom 1%.
Yeah, we were saying yesterday, you're like the Reese Walsh of Supercoach. I'm like the Jake Jaboyevich of Supercoach. I've just been going up by literally 4K almost exactly every single week. But like it's green arrows, I'll take it. But every single week, I'm like, come on, let me go up 5 or 6K. It's like, nope, 4K every single week. But yeah, can't complain. I can't complain with 972 either. I'm happy enough with that. The captaincy on Ford didn't go quite as planned. He got moved out to the edge, but it wasn't a disaster or anything. But
Mm.
yeah, Drinkwater was the way to go, which I believe you went with in the end.
Yep, traded in Drinky, put the captain on him as well, had the VC on Isako. Didn't think it was quite enough points because I'm pretty far behind. So I need to swing for the fences. And yeah, Drinky paid off for me. So stoked with that. Up 13,000 odd ranks. So yep, slowly getting there. Up to 52,000, pretty dismal. But I'm in a really good spot for the buy period. So I'm actually relatively confident that I'll continue to make some gains over the next few weeks.
Me too, especially with some players coming back and saving my ass this week, while some others doing the opposite. But we'll get to that in a second. As for the prize
Hmm.
pool, Shots and Project Spartan hit both of their bets this week as well. So the margin hasn't closed or widened very much. Shots is still ahead by about $2. So make sure you get your bets down in the comments, those two especially, but everyone get on down there. Also for
Hmm.
Origin, we have a league. You can see it there. The group code is 526427. And we're going to be doing a separate little prize pool for that, starting at $50. Same thing. Leave a comment with your tips for Origin. I'll put those tips on, and whatever money it generates will get added to that $50. Um, so yeah, we'll keep it simple. Just maximum of like one bet for the week of footy, one bet for Origin, just to keep it easy on my end. And hopefully we can get that $50 up to say 100, and we'll give that away to whoever top scores in the Origin League. So get those comments down
Nice.
there, and
Excellent.
we will reveal our teams that we've picked for them as well.
Well
So
done to Shots and Project Spartan. They've been shooting it out all season in there. So yeah, one of you is going to probably come away with your contribution as a separate prize at the end of the season. So looking forward to that. But that doesn't mean you can't catch up still. There's plenty of weeks left to go. So definitely don't be afraid to get your tips in the comments, folks.
that's it. It can take one good bet, and you could be up there. Cats and Cubes is in there at fourth. That's only
Yep,
one bet, so
that's
it's
right.
doable.
Yep.
Very doable. Cool. We'll move over to the games coming up. Now, straight away with the Sharks, we have been, what's the opposite of blessed? We've been shit on by the
Cursed.
Supercoach gods. Cursed, yeah, that's probably a little more. Hines is out, and it's a low grade calf injury, 1 to 3 weeks, which is really annoying because 1 and 3 weeks are two very different scenarios. I think if it was
Mhm.
guaranteed 3 weeks, we'd all be selling him. If it was 1 or 2, could probably justify holding. Um, I'm gonna wait on it because the information could change. He could be back next week. It's hard to say at this point with the information we've got. But yeah, I think we'll have to look probably after we go over these two teams. We'll have a look at who we think the best replacements would be. You know what? Let's
Yeah,
do it now.
it it's a bit of a tricky one with Hines there because, like, worst case scenario, I think he plays one out of the next 5 weeks for you with the bye this week, and then I think he's got the bye in 16 as well. So yeah, look, between those two buys and then missing the games with the injuries, I actually think that he is a trade out if you have got him already. For anybody who was looking to bring him in this week as cover, then luckily you've dodged a bullet. Before you trade him, just pick somebody else. But yeah, look, I'm just confirming they have the buy on 17. Sorry, so yeah,
Yep.
one out of the next 5 weeks potentially for Hines. Yeah, don't bring him in. And personally, best case scenario, I think he only misses 1 week. But then, yeah, look, the buy again in 17. I'm just not too sure, so I'm going to trade him out. He's the only problem in my team this week. I have 17 even playing Hines, but yeah, I'm going to trade him.
So on the graphic I've got up here, um, someone that's come to mind immediately. Tigers have amazing cover for the rest of the Origin period. Do we know when Adam Dewey is back?
Not sure just yet. No, I mean I can check the injury
Because
ward on the NRL side if you want.
if he is back soon, I mean the Tigers have Bulldogs, Penrith, Gold Coast, Dolphins, Newcastle, St George, New Zealand. So decent-ish run there. They've got a lot of their star players coming back, so they should start to perform better. If Dewey's not too far away, I like that.
Round round 16. So
16, so
yep,
probably not soon enough.
yeah, yeah.
Damn, that would have been nice.
Yeah. A lot of people though might have Tamari Martin in their 5/8 spot, so that flex has actually proved quite valuable for me this week. Able to move Tamari Martin up into the 7, and then I also had Purdue and CT Dub, so you could move him around. There might be some flexibility. We're at the pretty deep in the season now, so it's going to be very team dependent. But yeah, look, I could understand holding Hines if you have enough numbers. But yeah, look, I don't really know who the best halfbacks are. I'm going to trade him out
Yeah.
for Reece Walsh through Jules.
Yeah, I think that probably is the best option. Like, we've got the Jerome Hughes shout. He's always been a decent guy in
Mm,
Origin, but he's
yep.
going to miss round 15 and round 18. So that's
And
pretty tough.
yeah, they're
Um,
tricky rounds too. So
yeah, look, the only other teams really that have good cover are the Eels. I mean, Moses is injured, so he's not an option. We don't want to touch the Dragons. Dylan Brown, nah.
yeah, it's
Raiders,
sketchy.
Ethan Strange is off. Like, yeah, it's not great. Maybe Jamal Fogarty does end up being the guy. He only misses round 15. Uh, yeah, look, we're kind of clutching at straws here if it's not obvious. Maybe the
Yeah,
Tamari Martin shifting him up is just the play.
the one good thing about this situation is that basically everybody was relying on Nico Hines this week, so
Yep.
we're all in the same boat. So if you can get numbers, you're fine. Even if you miss one, I think it's not a big deal. And it is only worst case scenario like 3 weeks. I was seriously considering to hold, but I'm in a situation where I need to try and catch up. So I need the numbers.
Yep. For me, I think I'm happy enough to hold this week at least. Maybe I'll make a decision on it next week. There's a chance that Cleary backs up. I seriously doubt it. The Panthers, they can afford a loss or two or three and still stay in first. Typically, Ivan does like to rest his guys. But yeah, we'll come back to that once we get to the other guys. That was a
And
big intro for one bloke.
any interest in any of the Manly guys?
Um, they do have really good cover, and coming into the Origin period, I was tossing up between Kohler and Lehigh. If back then I had chosen Lehigh, I mean, it would have burnt me because he got suspended. They both ended up not being great picks. Ruben Garrick seems to be holding on to the goal kicking. He hasn't really been scoring too well, sort of 50s, 60s, but if he does get you out of a sticky spot, don't mind that. Clayton's too expensive. Ben Trebojevic has
Yep.
been named, which is nice. He's probably also very expensive, but he's been doing well.
Yeah, he has been doing well, but he's kind of peaked. Like it seems like you've missed the boat. I don't think personally. I asked the question because I don't think I'd be bringing in any
Yeah,
Manly players. Round 15 is tricky, and it's close. So, and that's the one they miss. So, I think that yeah, probably no Manly guys really relevant. Sharks, they actually have a pretty decent run from here. So maybe like an Eero or something is
yeah,
is relevant at the moment. But you own him, and you said it's been a bit of a tough watch.
yeah. It's tries or nothing with him. Like his base is good for a center wing, but you're not happy with a 45, and he's been getting a
Mm,
few of them. He has made up for it with a couple of hat tricks. So his average for while I've owned him, which has been the whole season, has been relatively okay. Um, Oh, you
yeah.
know what? And now that Mulatalo's back on his side and Hines has gone down, you would think that makes them go left. But I said that a couple of weeks ago, and then Talakai and fucking what's his name scored like 3 tries
Yeah.
between them on the other side. So you just don't know.
Yeah, look,
Um,
without Hines as well, like I'm probably not getting any Sharks. So I think basically everyone in this game's a fade. Um,
for now,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna tip the Sharks to win still.
Without Hines, I'm going my boys 13 plus, and I'm going to keep doing that until they prove me wrong.
Without Olakawatu, I think you don't have enough, and Kola, I don't think there's enough strike there. And we got lucky last week against the Titans. They dropped the ball too much. So
They did
yeah.
make a lot of errors, that's fair. But we do have Lehigh back, so that's one bit of strike we've got back. We are going to have to play very well to get it done this game. Liafi's on the bench there. I like to see that.
Hopefully he gets a run for once.
Yeah, and this game, it's on a Friday, so there's no chance that these two back up. So we
Yeah.
won't even speculate on that. Yeah, I
Yep.
think that's pretty much all we need to go over for that game. Pretty
Yep.
much all the early games, I'm not convinced any of these guys do back up. Kalen Ponga being
Mm.
another one on the list. Like, why would you risk it?
Yep.
There's no point.
Yeah, against the Eels as well.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of the Eels, they continue to not be relevant. Iongi's back, but I don't think anyone's really looking at him at the moment. Um, which pushes Papali, I forget which one he prefers, back to 6 to cover for Moses. Still no Pezzett. So he's basically enough at this point. If you haven't already, I would just trade him straight to Tamari Martin before he rockets up in price, because he will. He could literally walk onto the field, face plant, and go off and still go up 150k. So yeah,
Yeah, look, if you already have Tamari Martin too, I just want to point out here what we were saying about Hines. If you have Tamari Martin in your 5'8" spot, move him up to your 7 and bring in Fletcher Sharp. I know he's
Ooh,
named at center here, but I imagine that Ponga won't play. Fletcher
yeah,
Sharp will go back to fullback and Fletcher Hunt will come in and play center. So, yeah, look, Fletcher Sharp. Plus, I think his break even's actually good now because he had a good game. So, yeah, this is the time. Fletcher Sharp time, I think, folks.
or does Fletcher Hunt come into fullback and then they put Sharp to? There's so many different ways this could pan out, but either way, I don't think it really matters where Sharp is. He's got those massive scores in him. It would be nice if he
Yep.
was at fullback, but if
Yep.
he's at 6 or center or whatever, he's going to be involved. So I do like
Yeah.
that shout.
He'll have the license to roam and wander around looking for attack and stuff. So, yep, I think Fletcher Sharp might be the best option if you were planning on bringing in Hines. Maybe look at bringing in a Fletcher Sharp or something instead if you've got duels with Tamari Martin.
Yep, good shout. Um, Eyes on Marzu here. He still has quite a low break even. Who's going to be running out? Samrani and Brian Kelly. So that doesn't worry me at all. I think I've got the VC on him this week, so I'm confident that he could go large. Uh, Dylan Lucas, I'm looking for him to kind of get back to his old self. He's been a bit of a fraud lately. I think he's had a try assist in his last 2 scores with a line break assist, maybe. And he's been scoring like 60s or something. Dylan Lucas of last year would have tonned up with one attacking stat like that. So he needs to pick it up. Or, I mean, I'm not going to trade him. I'm not in a position to, but I'm not too happy with that trade in, to be honest.
I'm going to tip the Knights here 13 plus.
Yeah, me too. Even if Ponga doesn't play, it just
That's right.
oh, actually no, yeah,
They
their
don't miss.
halves have been jumbled up again. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't miss much even without Ponga. Like I said, Sharp will go to fullback. He's really good, and
yeah,
and Fletcher Hunt was doing a great job in center. So yeah, like I think 13 plus.
yep.
Nice.
Can't argue with it. Quite a bit to go over here for the Tigers. Buller is back. Huge for me. Macassini. Wait, he's not there. Oh, he is there.
Yeah,
Macassini
Maxine's in
and
center.
I meant Tavana. I couldn't see Tavana. Both of these guys are coming in to save me. Tavana's probably the worst trade I've made this year, and he's coming to save me for round 13, and he's allowing me to field a full team minus a flex. So I'll be playing this week without a player dropping out, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather save a trade. So I think this should be probably a pretty good game with all
Yep.
these guys back. Coruscant back, Alex Twal back, which is quite relevant
Yep.
coming up against the Bulldogs, who finally seen a little bit of form. Granted, they only beat a decimated Storm last week, but Kiraz at fullbacks looked really good.
Hmm.
Um, could you make an
Yeah,
argument to
look,
bring him in?
Kiraz?
Yeah,
I no, no.
yeah,
So Bulldogs is a no because of the buys. They don't cover 15 or 18, two tricky weeks.
yeah, okay,
So like I like Kiraz. It's actually yeah, like I wanted to do it, but the buys just doesn't work out. I mean, if it works for you, if you have numbers, then by all means. Like if you've already got a Bulldog and you're switching him for another for Kiraz, then that could work. But yeah, like I do like the role for him, but just does probably not good timing with the buys.
yeah.
But he is on the price bubble and stuff like where he's about to go up in cash, and the role does look good. And he was back to tackle busting and offloading and stuff. So yeah, good stuff from Kiraz. But yeah, probably not a buy with the buys incoming. On the other side of that, though, the Tigers they play every game from here through the rest of the buy period.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already got somebody on the Tigers that you're looking at, like a Terrell May or a Kai Pierce Paul, or if you haven't got Twal yet, then yeah, I think they're great trade-in options if you need the numbers in the forwards this week.
Kai Pierce Paul's one I'm got a very, very keen eye on. I think he was very expensive and came down a little bit. I want to say he's around 700k, could be a little bit more. Um, yeah, just his offloading, his attacking upside. I need that. I don't care that I've already got 12. I mean, I got a shitload of Tigers. I've got Makasini and Tavana as well. I don't care. Like when he's on, and it really
Hmm.
doesn't take much for him to ton up.
Hmm.
So maybe look if Lucas is kind of stinking it up for me. Not really stinking it up because he still is getting 50s and 60s, but I'm not. I don't want to pay 650k for that. So if I can manage to swap him to Pierce Paul, and that also helps with cover, I think the Knights miss 15. So maybe in round 15, I could justify bringing in a KPP. Yeah,
Yep.
I would love to do that.
Yep.
Um,
Knights miss 15. Yep. Yeah, a
yeah,
couple targets in this one. But yeah, mostly all on the Tigers side. I'm not convinced by the Bulldogs yet.
yeah, neither.
They did look a bit better, but yeah, like I don't know. I feel like they kind of got a bit lucky in that game as well, to be honest. So
Yeah, and it
yeah,
wasn't
look,
a good Storm side. Let's be real.
yeah, like the 50% completion in the second half.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing when you're winning as well? So yeah, that's just terrible. I think the Bulldogs got a bit lucky, and yeah, I'd be targeting Tigers players for this one.
yep,
And yeah, like if you have Terrell May or something, he could be a good captain option even. So yeah,
yep.
and I'm gonna stick with that for the tips as well. Tigers 13 plus.
I'm gonna go 1 to 12. Just because maybe they don't hit the ground running straight away with all these guys coming back. They need to like get their cohesion a little bit better. And I do wonder how much of an impact Kiraz has. He's kind of like the turbo for this team. Not to that extent, but it I wonder if him at the back, like getting super involved, just kind of lifts the whole team a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that Kiraz is going to be a really tough one because he is going to start going up in money soon. He might get out of
Probably
reach.
There's
Yeah,
probably four players that are sort of relevant at the Bulldogs, like if we're going to talk about it. So Kiraz, yes, if you can cover the buys and stuff, no worries. I think Galvin's actually a fair shout at halfback as well. He's been doing quite well. And then Leo Thompson and Satili Tupanua have both really picked it
Tupanua,
up.
100%.
Um, Tupanua, again, it's the buys is the thing that's scaring me a little bit here. But when he's been starting on the edge like this, 3 round average of 70 points. I've got him in draft. I've drafted him at the start of the season because he's a weapon. He runs so hard. But playing through the middle, like he's a workhorse. But playing on the edge, he gets the full game. And yeah, look, he's really smashing it out there. So yeah, like, if you've got room for a bulldog, I could understand bringing in one of those four guys. But yeah, it's a bit risky with the buy coverage and stuff. But with
Yep.
Preston out and Kickout out, Tupanua's spot is pretty much locked in on the edge there, and he's a weapon. So yeah, look, priced at 540 at the moment,
God,
break
that's
even 30.
cheap.
Yeah, 34. He's actually a good shout for you. He's dual position, 2RF front row. So he's actually good if you can cover the buys. And I think he's still quite affordable considering the role change with both of the starting back rowers out injured. Yeah, he's a fair shout.
Say your team is sorted for the major buys, but you're struggling for the minor buys. Um, Tupanua is a decent pod that you could get in. Not entirely sure about the opposition they're coming up against in that time, but yeah, I mean, they've been pretty diabolical lately, and Tupanua's still been scoring well, so I don't think it matters too
Yeah.
much.
Their games coming up, obviously Tigers, then the Eels, then Manly, then the Titans. So yeah,
Not
they got a
bad.
few softer ones coming up. Yeah.
Beauty. Cool. Storm Roosters. I imagine that the Origin guys actually will back up for this one, particularly for Melbourne, because they really need to start getting some points if they want to try and make a push for the finals. Do you
hmm
reckon they make the finals? I actually don't think they do.
No, I think it's going to be too tough from here. I think every team's playing pretty all the teams in front of them are playing good. So like I don't see them winning enough games between now and then. No.
Crazy.
With yeah, on that same note though, I don't really see Teddy backing up for this one. I think
Yeah,
Teddy being a little bit older, yeah, I feel like the Roosters are well in front of the Storm here. They won't be feeling desperate, and they have that Rex Bassingwaite or something named in the reserves, so well
Basinthwaite.
prepared. Yeah, well prepared for Tedesco to drop out of this one, which is why I traded him out. I didn't think he would have the need to back up, but I held on to Harry Grant because I suspect he will back up.
Yep.
So yeah,
I think from memory as well, around the Origin period, Bellyache does like to back up his players, and then they normally get rests towards the back end of the year. So that's something we need to consider. We are getting to the point where we need to start thinking about what we want our final team to look at and holding on to an extra trade to get rid of like a Cleary, a Munster, a Grant, if they are, or maybe not the Storm guys because they need to win as many games as possible, but definitely when it comes to like Cleary and Edwards and I don't know, maybe To'o, whatever, something to think about. As for targets in this game, we spoke about Jerome Hughes earlier. I don't love the coverage.
yeah,
I don't think there's really too much to talk about here other than keeping an eye on for if these guys actually back up.
yeah. Storm missing 15 and 18 does suck, but yeah. So maybe Jerome Hughes, like he'll be good for you for the next 2 weeks, and then if you can cover it on, maybe he's your only Storm player, so should be fine. If you're a Blake Brayley owner or something, maybe 15's fine for you, but then Brayley might be at Origin, so maybe that doesn't help. Yeah. Anyways, Jerome Hughes, probably the only real relevant option on this whole page. Yeah.
Yeah. If
Other than
Storm were
Cody
going to
Ramsey
rest a
still.
guy, it'd probably be Munster. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Cody Ramsey still actually is a kind of decent shout. He's still cheap and he's playing well. And yeah, I think Toops is out for a bit. So Ramsey could be an option for you if you need numbers in CT Dub. Maybe you got somebody who's out there, maybe Fire Marnie or something, not playing this week and you need numbers. Cody Ramsey.
God, the Roosters outside backs are getting their depth tested. Like Toya's the only guy they started with at the beginning of the year. He's
Yeah.
dropping like fries, like flies. They need Garrick to come early. Not that I
I'm
want that,
gonna
but I am getting
no, of
sick of him
course not.
whinging every single tackle.
Yeah. I'm uh I'm gonna tip the Storm 1 to 12 just because I think, well, I think Queensland win, and I think that fires up the boys, and then they come back and they fire up the rest of the Storm squad. So
Mm,
yeah, I'm gonna tip the Storm, but only just. And yeah, like I said before, I still don't think they're gonna win enough games to make it into the 8 though.
I'm going to tip the Storm because I think the Blues are going to win and they're going to want to come back and bounce back from it.
And I think Teddy won't back up, and I doubt Sam Walker will back up.
Yeah,
I
Walker's
doubt
had his
Reese
fair
Rob.
share of injuries too, so like, why risk it? It is on the
I
Saturday though, so maybe.
I doubt Reese Robson will back up. So Victor Radley potentially won't back up. Like there's 4 guys here from the Roosters that even if they do back up, they may play reduced minutes. And
Yeah,
I just have a feeling that the Storm won't worry about it. They're just going to be absolutely
yeah.
flying. So yeah, I'm going to back the Storm to get it done, but only just.
I think they are underdogs for that game as well. I think that could be a good little tip to put down in the comments. Broncos Dragons. Um, there's one dude that we probably zone in on here, and it is the one Reese Walsh. coming
Yep.
up against the Diabolical Dragons, yet to win a game. Is it this week they equal the shittest start to a season ever if they lose? When they lose, let's be
Probably
real.
this week
It's
or
this
next
week
week.
or
I don't
next
know.
week, yeah.
They're they're pretty high up there. Maybe like the third or fourth in NRL era or something. Worst start. So they're yeah terrible right now. Anyway, Reece Walsh against the Dragons. That's why he's the most traded in player this week. Coming back from the facial injury, he's been a little bit soft in the contact, but yeah, hopefully he's getting more and more confident with that. And yeah, he's looking to come out and show everybody why he should be there for Queensland in the next game, but he just needed a couple more weeks to make sure his face was right. So, yeah,
Yep.
Reece Walsh definitely a target in this one. Katoni Staggs probably won't back up. I don't think. Like I don't know. Like Origin's tough,
Is
man.
this the
Like
Sunday? It's the Sunday,
it
so
is the
slightly more
Sunday.
likely.
He might, but they've got backs to cover it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they need to. One that does kind of suck here for the Broncos is Xavier Willison named it on the edge again instead of in the middle, but Payne Haas is back.
Yes, huge.
So yeah, Broncos should have a lot of go forward through the middle. Maybe Willison rotates into the middle when somebody needs a rest. So like it could actually still be fine for him. But yeah, bit of a bummer for Willison named on the edge. But yeah, I think the Broncos get it done easily, and I think Reece Walsh scores 150 or more.
Yeah, I think he could even go higher. Like this is set up for a record breaking score, I think.
Yeah,
Like
two
coming up
o'clock
against yeah, it's
Sunday, Suncorp. Yeah.
yeah. And like coming up against the Dragons, he needs to play himself into the Maroons jersey. The fact that he may play himself into a Maroons jersey here does not phase me. I want him anyway
Yeah.
because he's either going to get a crazy score and then we lose him to Origin, or he's going to get like a mid score and then maybe not go off to Origin. So really, it's kind of a win-win either way. Same
There's
could be
also
said about Payne Haas, but I think he's pretty much guaranteed to play for the Blues. So I don't think there's
yeah.
any scenario where you trade him in.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. There is a world, best case scenario for Reece Walsh, trader inners. Terrible language, sorry. But if you're bringing him in this week, then look, maybe he scores really well, but maybe Queensland still win and Billy doesn't find the need to change anything, and just give Reece a year off from Origin to focus on what he's doing. So yeah, look, there is a best case scenario there where he kills it and still doesn't get selected. Whereas, like you said, Paynas could come out and play only 40 minutes back from a sore knee and still get selected for game 2 of Origin. So
Yeah, and then still be the
wouldn't
best
be.
forward on the field with a sore knee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah.
I reckon the best scenario with Walsh would be him playing himself into a 19 jersey, and then we can still have him.
You mean the 20 jersey?
Is it 19 and 20 that's available to? I don't
No,
know.
only 20 because
Okay.
18 and 19, there's six-man
Oh,
bench that's
true.
out
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So yeah, they only released the number 20 to still
Right.
play for club. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that where Ezra Mam got named? Was he a
No,
20?
that was Fini Fuiaki, so that's
Oh,
why he
okay.
played on
Interesting. All right.
Thursday. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
talking mad shit.
no, it's all right. We're onto it, sort of.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
viewers know what I'm
Broncos
talking about.
Broncos 13 plus.
Yeah, yeah. That goes without saying almost. I reckon
Yeah.
that could be 40 to maybe 12 because they have been
Yep.
leaking a little bit, but yeah, smashing
I think
regardless.
I think the line's like 19 or something like that. Like
Yeah,
it's
wow.
come down a bit from the 26 or whatever that they were on. So value tips could be along the lines of Dragons with the start. Could be a tip if you think it's going to be kind of close, and maybe you tip Dragons with the start, and yeah, could be a bit of value in that.
Dragons with the start into a Melbourne head to head. I might go that myself.
Yeah,
Raiders
no,
Cowboys. I'm just waiting for the day that we see Sasungi back. I miss
I
him.
know, I know. I need him in draft this week. I'm a number short because of in draft because of Sasungi.
I was filling out my final team before Sasungi is in there. As soon maybe not as soon as he's back. I'll give him 1 week to cook, and then I'm sure he'll be back in. He's up there with maybe just like one tier below Latrell alongside maybe Herbie Farmworth. He's been that good.
Mm.
Anyway, he's not on the teams list, so we'll get to the relevant guys. of which there probably isn't too many. Scott Drinkwater was a popular trade in last week.
Yep.
More than happy to have him this week. Jackson Purdue is kind of getting towards sell territory in my opinion, but he is a warm body for this week, so I can't fully get behind it.
Yeah, look, I'd say he's actually due to have a big game.
Yeah,
He is cheaper than he was to start the season. So if you started with him, he's actually lost money, which not a huge deal. We've all got a fair bit of money, but yeah, I'm holding. Like I was considering if Hines was named and I was just doing one luxury trade, I was going to go Purdue to Walsh, but it was kind of tempting still to hold because he is overdue. If Tom Chester had have passed the ball inside, then there's a good chance that because Purdue was right there, I think that was somebody else in between, but there's still a good chance that Purdue might have come out with something from that. Yeah, I think he just needs to start running straight again because he just seems to be crabbing in field quite a bit and then not making much happen from it. So if he just starts running straight again, he could bust into a hole or something. So yeah, I think keep him this week against the Raiders, who have pretty soft right side defense. So yeah, like I'd be back in Purdue for a try this week and to make up for some of those low scores that he's had. Drinky, on the other hand, I captained him last week. I probably wouldn't captain him this week just because the Raiders are going to be fired up from losing at home, like the last 6 or 7 games at home.
yeah,
So, yeah, like I have a feeling they're going to be tough this week. And Drinkwater's obviously the key to the Cowboys' attack. So they're probably going to have some sort of system for trying to shut him down. But yeah, so I probably won't put the C on Drinky this week, but he's still a good target. Cowboys by coverage. They do miss 15 and 18, so similar to Bulldogs at this point. Maybe not. And they also have some tough games, and they got the Warriors and the Panthers in round 16 and 17. So yeah, look, maybe you do want to sort of start to be getting off some of your Cowboys potentially for round 15. I probably wouldn't trade them in this week. Yeah.
yeah. One name there that is just staring me in the face, mocking me, is Reed Marnie. I was so wrong about him. I still hate the
Well,
bloke. I'm not getting him back in. Pasco's my guy
everybody
now.
everybody that had him is feeling exactly the same
Oh
because probably everybody
man.
got rid of him, and then yeah, except for Maddie from Insight, who just let him marinate on the bench forever until he came good. And that's honestly one of the best plays of the season. But yeah, that's a bummer. You don't bring him in for sure. So
Oh,
I
Todd
was a bit
Payton must
upset.
play fucking SuperCoach.
I was looking at Taps last week, and then in the end, I actually switched to Horsburgh because they've scored very similar throughout the season. And Horsburgh with the duel and being fired up for missing out on Origin, I actually thought he was the better option, and it was looking good when he got that try. But then he had to go off with the HIA, and Taps was just in beast mode. So yeah, look, I think they're both still good options. If you don't have Tapani or Horsburgh, I think they're actually both still good options. Raiders only have the round 18 bye, so they're good coverage for the next few games. And they have a couple of softer games in there with the Eels and the Storm and the Dragons. So yeah, Raiders for sure targets. I'd be looking at Horsburgh or Tapani if you don't have them. Probably none of the backs, except maybe Tamale. And yeah, not too, and I probably wouldn't bring in any Cowboys. Yeah, just the timings probably missed it. And if you're getting rid of Jackson Purdue, I understand. Just be aware, probably losing money.
Yeah.
And he'll probably burn you this week by scoring a try and scoring 100.
On Tarpany, I don't know if it's like he's got a chip on his shoulder during the Origin period because he's not eligible and he's just a severely underrated forward generally. During this period, his output just increases, and then after the Origin
Mm.
period, it goes back down. And most years, you look at him through the Origin period, you either get him or you don't, and then after the Origin period, you're like, oh, do I run home with him? And then his output goes back down again. It's like
Mm.
clockwork every year. It is bizarre. So if I was going to go one of the two, I would go Tarpany, which I have. But in saying that, I don't mind the Horsburgh shout. He does have a try in him, which is kind of weird. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a short term play either way. So if you want to go something a little different, then sure, go Horsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Um,
gonna tip the Raiders to get it done here, but it's probably gonna be close. Say 1 to 12.
I think I'm
And
going to go the Cowboys.
The Cowboys are good, man. Like
Yeah.
they are good, but I just can't see the Raiders losing another one at home. Like I don't know.
Mm, I'm just picturing how good like Scott Drinkwater's been pretty much since it got announced that he's going to the Dragons. And he's like, oh shit, well I better make the most of being at a good team while I'm still here. But in saying that, I think next year the Dragons will have like quite a good team on paper. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think I'll go Cowboys 1-12 for this one.
nice.
Sick. Panthers Warriors. Um.
What a game.
So okay, Ivan hasn't actually named the guys to back up. They're just in the reserves. I imagine they're going to stay there. They don't need to risk it. So,
Yep,
probably not a whole lot to talk about on the Panthers side of things. Like, sure, some people might still have a Jenkins. Do you still have Jenkins?
I do.
Yeah, right. Who's
I
he
could.
running at? Khan Pereira could be all right.
I don't know. I'm not super confident with their four best players not in the team, but yeah, like yeah, Jenkins will be the target with Toto out on the other side. But then again, like yeah, I don't know. Alamotti's awesome, so they could just go his way as well. Like I really don't know like what's going to happen here. But Dylan Edwards was a serious option as fullback. Coming into the bye period and stuff like that as well. But the problem is the Panthers, they do miss that 15. So, yeah, they got the Warriors and the Tigers. And then, Edwards is out. He might even go play Origin, which would make him then ineligible for that 16 or potentially resting for 16 rather. So he's a bit of a risky play, but he is the best fullback option this week because when Cleary is out, Edwards steps up,
Yeah.
including goal kicking. So I could see Edwards as being right up there under Reece Walsh as like the one of the top trade-ins this week. Just be aware of the 15 and 18 buys.
I forgot about the goal kicking. That
Yeah.
is such a yeah, wow. Uh
Remember last year when Cleary was out and Edwards was
just
basically
going
went into
nuts.
everybody's team because he was averaging like 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I
I'm still getting Walsh, but I
yeah,
thought about Edwards.
I think the it would almost be just like a slam dunk trade in if there wasn't the worry of New South Wales getting pumped and then him getting named over Teddy,
Yeah.
which is always going to be a risk for the remainder of the Origin period. Someone
Yeah.
I'm actually quite um, that I might have a look at, even though I'm saving trade, so I'm probably never going to do this, but I like the idea, is Dallin. I don't know what he's worth. If he's around the 500Ks, then I quite like that. He's looked really good over the last couple of weeks. I haven't been watching too closely prior to that, but he's
615.
615. Might be a little
Yeah.
bit much, but
Yeah.
say, I mean, if you still got a Feymani, it's only like 100K in the bank, and you can upgrade it to him. From memory,
Even if
the
you're looking
Warriors
at
have
him.
some decent coverage.
Yeah, but even if you're looking at him, it's not this week against the Panthers, surely. Then they have the bye next week. So you're definitely not trading in any Warriors this week. They got Panthers and then the bye. So
I
that
reckon they'll
sucks.
be up for this one.
But
It's first versus second with some guys out.
yeah,
I think they
I hear you.
could go nuts.
Yeah, but it'll be a really good game, and Dallin could definitely score a try. But I just feel like it would be more likely to be one of those low scoring games because
Yeah, true.
Panthers are quite good defensively. I'd be targeting Warriors for round 15 at this point. So you could bring them in then. They play the Sharks, the Cowboys, the Dolphins. They do have the round 18 bye as well, which is a bit of a bummer. But then they play the Tigers. So bit of a softer sort of draw coming up for them. But they do have the round 14 and 18 buys. So yeah, 18's looking like could be pretty tricky if you stock up on too many guys.
At
So
that point as well, Khan Pereira's negative score will have dropped out, so he's probably bottomed out at that point, and then maybe he's the guy you go for as a like a Mulatalo like flyer option.
mm,
So we'll
yeah.
definitely revisit that. Jackson Ford
Otherwise,
named to start again is nice.
Tamari Martin, if you didn't bring him in, named again on the bubble this week, so going to get cash just for getting on the field. Yeah, and he's looked great, and he has the duel. So yeah, you could be doing a Nico Hines to Tamari Martin or something like that,
Yep.
and banking heaps of cash. I know a lot of people are probably going Cleary to Martin, so yep, I understand that. Yeah, he's definitely the guy to target from this page.
I think I reckon if you have Pezzit, then that's probably like a must do. Like just Pezzit to Tamari Martin, just sort that out. Pezzit's he might not get another game for the rest of the year, so just like fix up that and you actually bank a bit of money doing that, which is crazy. Ford starting, nice. Hopefully he doesn't get. He's at 10. Yeah, that's good. Hopefully he doesn't get shifted out to the edge again.
Hmm.
Probably not too much else to go over here.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade any of them in because of the bye, and yeah, tough matchup this week. But yeah, except for Tamari Martin.
Yeah, yeah.
Even then, though, it's kind of risky with Metcalf like around the corner. Like I don't know.
And that
He,
is
I,
the
I
final
think,
game.
yeah, I think Tamari Martin would have to have a poor game for Metcalf to come straight in next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. If you didn't trade him in yet, then at least you know that this week he's been named and you're going to get that first price rise. But then, yeah, it's after that you might end up having to trade him back out if Metcalf comes in or something. So and this is
I'm
a
not
little bit
too
risky, but
concerned about the
yeah,
Metcalf thing. Like, he's signed with the Dragons now. Like, I f- is
he's still.
Metcalf even the better option?
Well, the only reason they didn't choose him in the first place was because he wasn't around, because he was like in Sydney while he was doing all that Dragons stuff
Yeah.
before when Tanner got hurt. So it's just like, yeah, okay, they probably will bring him back in, but is it a week away? Is it 2 weeks away? Like if as soon as Tamari Martin has a poor game, I think Metcalf is in. So, but at this point, he's been playing good.
Yeah.
A couple of soft tries for sure, but yeah, he's been playing good.
And if, like, say Boyd, when he's fit and ready to come back, it may even be a combination of him and Tamari Martin. So maybe they just get reps into him early while they've got the opportunity to. Yeah.
Isn't
Anyway.
Boyd quite a long way
Yeah,
away?
yeah,
Didn't he
he's
have
next
a
season.
yeah.
But like
Yeah.
like looking into the future, maybe they're like, well, let's just get some reps into this guy. He's like clearly playing well, blah blah blah. But
Mm,
yeah, we're speculating, and that's well down the track. So we will
yeah.
revisit this in probably a year.
I'm gonna tip the Warriors. The Panthers have to lose a couple of games every year, and without all their stars, I reckon they might lose this one. So yeah, the Warriors probably get this one done 1-12.
Yep, I back it, and because I want Tamari Martin to score a try. Actually, no, I want Tamari Martin to get 2 short ball try assists to Jackson Ford, and I get a massive score this week.
Yeah, no, all right. I don't have Ford, so
Yeah, he's been a little bit underwhelming lately, but yeah, it's underwhelming by Ford standards is still pretty good. We'll
yeah,
go over to our trades. I'm somehow managing to go Cooper Bye to Reese Walsh, which is glorious. And you're doing
excellent.
something similar.
Yeah, so I actually wasn't going to trade at all. I had numbers, I had everything sorted, and then Nico Hines calf strain. Okay, I didn't have a halfback because my halfback two is Jaden Campbell on a bye. So yeah, like I thought about it, but through a series of duels, I was actually able to get Reese Walsh. So yeah, I'm going to do that. It's going to be good.
Dual trades are
And
so satisfying.
oh man, it was like a Hines out, Tamari Martin up to halfback, Purdue up to 5'8", Chester up to center, bring in Walsh.
So good.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, so dual position's handy as. But yeah, Hines out, Walsh in. I will definitely be getting Hines back around the end of this bye period. So or yeah, look, maybe as soon as he's named again potentially. But like if he's named for the Dragons game. Like if he misses 1 week and then he's named for the Dragons game, I probably will just trade him back in, but it'll be through something like a Pezzett. Trade out
Yeah.
Pezzett, move Tamari Martin back down, boom, Hines in. So yeah, like I'm not too worried about spending 2 trades on it because I want to have 18 this week and make sure I've got good options for players. I need my lowest score to drop out and make sure I'm making grounds and getting green arrows. So yeah, I think it's worth to trade him out because if he misses 3 weeks, then it's just a lot of money sitting there doing
Yeah.
nothing at a critical time of the year. So
I like the sound of that a lot more with the getting Pezzett out with his way back in. At least you're solving problems with those trades at the same time. It's like they're not just
yeah,
completely burnt. So
yeah,
yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
mind
just
that.
going I'm not just going Walsh out and for Hines back in a couple of weeks. No way. I'm keeping Walsh and I'll just upgrade one of my other duds through dual positions. So I think I've got about 500,000 in the bank as well. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, not bad.
Rolling in it. This segues nicely into the teams. So I'm running Cleary and Hines at the moment. I've got Cleary in there just in case by some miracle he backs up. I think there's about 2% chance of that happening.
Mhm.
So I'm running without a halfback this week. So basically, I don't have a flex to drop out, and I'm okay with it. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm in a position where I can just kind of wait on Hines and see how severe it is. But that is
Mhm.
the halves combination I want for the run home. Maybe, um, maybe if I'm stuck 1 week, I can trade out Cleary to another halfback and then get him back. Whatever. I'm not
Mhm.
going to force the trade though, because I don't really need to. Whereas you
Yeah.
kind of had to.
Well, I'm the same as you. I would have had 17, no halfback, but I just feel like my overall rank, I need to make sure I'm doing whatever I can to make ground.
Yeah,
I
fair.
was I was thinking that banking trades is actually going to be really helpful towards the end of the season when everybody else has burnt all their trades through the buy period. Like I had numbers, I could have just done nothing, but it does feel like a pretty good upgrade to yeah, like to get Walsh in on a week where, there's not a lot happening and he could score 150 against the Dragons. I think everybody's been targeting players against the Dragons all season, so
Yeah.
there's no reason why I wouldn't trade in last year's best player against the Dragons this week.
Something I'm liking the look of as well. I'll just double check this. Yeah, round 14, Cleary's going to come up against the Tigers, and pretty much everyone has sold him en masse. So I'm going to be one of the few guys left with him. I can
Mm,
captain him that week, and that could be a massive moving week for me. And then
yeah,
similarly, round 17, he'll play the Cowboys. Cowboys away, so it's not the best. Cowboys have been playing well, but that's just having Cleary as a pod is such a luxury. So if I
yeah,
can afford to hold on to him, then I will. But injuries, it's SuperCoach. Shit happens. I
yeah.
probably will have to make way for someone else.
You got a risk there if Harry Grant doesn't actually play, you might actually only have 16 players. That's the
Yeah.
thing with me. If Harry Grant doesn't back up, then for whatever reason, maybe it's an injury or something, then I will only have 17. But if it is an injury, we will have time to make that extra trade that we've still got there in that back pocket
Yes.
for this week. So there is opportunity still to cover something like that if it happens with having one trade left. Yeah, I highly recommend not to just max trade this week if you don't need to. Like, try and save some trades. If you've got numbers, that's good. Try and save some trades for back end, or if somebody gets injured in Origin, you can do something on Thursday before the weekend. Yeah, I would definitely try not to max trade this week if you can avoid it.
Yeah. If
But
um if someone does get injured, like if Harry Grant gets injured or a head knock or whatever in Origin, then probably Hines is gone for me.
yeah, your front row looks awesome this week.
Yeah.
Jackson Ford, Alex Twal, Tarpany, and Paseka. Very good choices, mate. Very good.
Second row forward
Pretty
is a little bit to be desired, but we'll work on that on the run home.
kind of only the Tolte, like happy with Lucas, Lasardi, Cashman, that all looks pretty good. Yeah, for me on the other hand, front row a little bit weak with Willison playing edge, like it's not ideal. I'm actually hoping that Origin fires up Flegler and then he comes good for the back end of the season and turns into like a Paseka style kind of guy for the
Mm,
second half of the season. That would be good. Although I was pretty happy with my second row this week. Yeah, Lukey, Lasardi, Twal, Couchman, looking good. Hopefully Thomas Cant gets a run and starts to do something for me. He's just been sort of rotting there for the last like 7 weeks or something since I brought him in, so that would be nice. But yeah, at least I've got Tamari Martin in my halfback.
yeah, yeah. We'll move down to the backs. Yeah, again, no halves, which is just scary to look at. But my center wings looking nice again. Other than the Tigers guys, more so the bench. Having
Yeah.
Marzu, Iro, Asago, and Farmworth all back next week.
Hmm.
I haven't decided what I'm going to do with Kohler yet. He could be a good little pod for the run home if I do manage to keep numbers through the rest of the Origin period. But looking at my little table here, I've got 14 for round 15, which is one more than I need. Then I've got 18. Then I've got two extra for round 18 and one extra for round 19. So pending injuries, like I'm fine. I can just save trades for the rest of this period.
All of that means absolutely nothing because of the pending
Yeah,
injuries, which
exactly.
seem to be very frequent.
Yeah, yeah. They're
You
running
can't even
rampant at the
can't
moment.
even get through training. Nico Hines, everyone's banking on him, and he can't even get through training. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look, my CT dub pretty happy with it as well. Like for something that was looking pretty dire. I know Valentine Holmes isn't as good as his name suggests this year. But yeah, look, my weakest link in there is probably Macassini, and we all saw what he can do in preseason. We just need him to sort of come good during the real season. So yeah, pretty stoked. I think a lot of people though are starting to be pretty stacked in CT Dub. Yeah, I got the VC on Marzu as well against the Eels this week. Could be absolutely crazy. Funny, we've got exactly the same VC and C options here.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it almost picks itself. Like if you have these two guys, it makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of people trading out Farlongo as well. I don't really understand it. Like he's still averaging 80. Like they haven't looked great. He's pure base and power of over 50 every single week. Like he just needs a little bit of attacking stat. And this week with his key guys back in the spine with him, like surely he's able to get something done. So yeah, like I wouldn't trade Follingo yet. Maybe at the end of Origin period, but for now, I think he's great to have there while other fullbacks are potentially in and out of Origin. You don't know what's happening, so yeah, I think Follingo's a hold still.
Yeah. I think there's a world where we said before we started recording what our run home fullbacks would be. I can see a world where Melbourne are like gonna sort of like scrape into the finals and they need to be elite. In that kind of scenario, we could see Farlongo just go absolutely ballistic and just be
Yeah,
doing what Latrell was doing at the start of the year. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, maybe I even just stick him into my final team and run with him.
yeah. Well, I mean, Walshy and Drinkwater are actually two guys that are in my end game plans. So, and Falongo is essentially I'd rather have Teddy, like Walshy, Teddy, and Drinky are my three guys to end the season, hopefully. But with Teddy playing Origin, I'm stoked to have Farlongo until the Origin period's over, and then I just trade him out for Teddy. Hopefully, he gets a couple of good games in there and gets a bit more of a cash rise again, and I can sort of straight swap him for Teddy um, in the back end of the season, or if not, I'll work it out. But at this point, I don't think he's a sell.
Oh yeah, no way. He'll definitely hurt you if you do sell him. He'll hurt you at some point. Might not be this week, but he will. Origin.
Let's go.
I need to full screen this because I can't really read it. There we go. So our teams are quite similar. I mean, there's not too many guys to pick from, but I think we've gone slightly different from what most people will be picking. I'll let
Potentially,
you
yeah.
go with yours first, Mac.
Yeah, so Harry Grant up front, the superior super coach player when it comes to hookers that are available for this game. So pretty obvious choice that probably everybody will have. I've actually got the captain on him because I have a feeling that he is going to be the MVP of the whole game. His ruck awareness is actually what's going to create pace and go forward for the Maroons, who are then probably likely to only score a try by diving over in the corner miraculously, which is why I've gone for Cobo. Is my point of difference down there. But yeah, look, Harry Grant, super obvious, and then uh, yeah, look, everyone's going to have Cleary, Munster, Teddy, and then it just comes down to whether or not you're also bringing in a Ponga, which is what you've done. I've gone for Cola in the flex.
I rate it. I rate it. What a guy. Yeah, pretty much looking at my team now, it's basically a copy and paste of what everyone's is going to look like, except for Hamoli and Cola, who I have VC'd and C'd, because to be honest, I don't really care about this too much, and I just want my Manly boys to do well. And I'll be
Yep.
cheering if they do. I can see Olakuatu just running over the top of Munster to score a try, and I can see Cola just beating everyone with pace. So,
Yeah, I could see Hudson Young running over the top of Sam Walker for a
yep,
try. Probably easier than Olakau'atu. Although Money has missed a bunch of tackles this season and even last season, I noticed. So I was actually tossing up. I had Olakau'atu, but I decided to go for Hudson Young. And purely because Hudson Young has that random wow factor sometimes where he'll like put in a kick or just do
yeah,
something crazy. So I kind of like that style of footy. So yeah, Hudson Young for me in that spot. But yeah, I think Kohler is probably a pretty fair shout in the centres. Actually considered Kohler instead of Cobo, and then like you have Ponga down in my flex or fullback. It's like having Teddy and Ponga just seems broken.
yeah,
But I'm not that convinced that both of them will pop off. And like I said, I feel like the tries are going to be scored in the corner, so that's why
yep.
I've gone for Cobo. He's been on good form in the last few weeks. He's been busting his butt all season, and he's got over the line a few times over the past few weeks. So, be good to see him continue that try scoring form into Origin. And yeah, I think it'll be off the back of Harry Grant's ruck awareness.
Beauty. I think that's pretty much all we need to cover.
Jump
So
back to that home screen and show the folks at home the
let's
Origin
do that.
League code again. So don't forget, folks, we
Bang.
do have Origin League open up right now. Already a few people jumped in there from our little post last night on YouTube mentioning that we were going to record today instead. So yep, Group League is 526427. There will be at least a $50 prize for first place that will go up with the tips, the Origin specific tips that get put on as bets during the week. So get your tips in the comments for Origin first up before the game tomorrow. And then, of course, also add in your tips for the games on the weekends. And both prize pools will go up with the winning bets. So definitely get in there. But yeah, so join the Origin League, folks. It's going to be fun, something different for us in the middle of the season. In particular, I'm happy about it because I'm sitting at 52,000, so it gives me a chance to actually maybe do well at something.
Fair enough. Probably not though, because the Blues are gonna smash her, and all the Queensland players are gonna score 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Did you
You've
see
got
that?
4 Queenslanders in your team, mate.
Yeah.
Surely that's not what you want to happen.
I actually started with too many. I had to ease up on the
Yeah.
Queenslanders. Did you see that Billy said that his premiership favourites are the Dolphins? That's your coach, man.
Yeah, that's fair. The Dolphins are good,
No.
bro. Has
Premiership
it
favourites? Come
Have you
on.
listened to any of the potties this week? Basically, everyone has Panthers, Wars, and Dolphins. Like, they're the 3, bro.
Nah,
They're
Manly.
the 3.
Manly win the
People
comp.
are putting Manly there, which I think is
Yeah.
outrageous because they barely beat the Titans. Like, but, whatever.
Without all our players though. So like it's swings and roundabouts. I think even just looking at the odds that like a month ago we were paying like $48 to win the comp and we are now like 10. It's
Yeah.
sick. I'm loving it.
Yeah, the Dolphins are good, man. The Dolphins are good. So,
They are
yeah.
good. I've got no qualms with that, but premiership favorites is
They just beat
insane.
the they just beat the Raiders in Canberra at 5 degrees. Just yeah, smashed them too. Without the Origin guys. Like, come on, man.
Okay,
No
maybe
Hammer,
maybe I am just looking for shit to talk here. Maybe that yeah,
no Flegler.
you are
Like
slightly convincing me now.
the Dolphins are awesome, bro. They got awesome depth. They're finally getting their system to work with the ruck speed and stuff for this year. One thing I've noticed in the footy games, just from an NRL perspective, is a lot of the players that were previously trying to crab around the ruck and maybe move a little bit to the side to put the markers off, or maybe try to milk a six again or something. A lot of that is just gone, and players are now, as soon as they hear held, they're trying to play the ball. I
Hmm.
think that's actually how the Bulldogs won the game. Is Matt Burton did it like 3 or 4 times. The moment he heard held, he just put the ball down and stepped over it,
Yeah.
and bam, off the back of that. So these quick play balls. Now that the Dolphins have got a feel for the pace of the game, Katoa is going crazy. He had his best Supercoach score
Yeah,
of
he
of the
did go
season. He
nuts.
turned up for once, which is tough for him because he doesn't get a lot of Supercoach credit for what he does. So yeah, I actually think the Dolphins do look really good
Oh, they
this
don't
season.
play this
Yeah,
week. I want to watch them now.
yeah. Next week
Maybe I'll
they'll
have to
have
go
all the guns
rewatch the
back.
highlights because clearly I didn't watch it closely enough because it's yeah. Oh, definitely not because I've got no recollection of Katoa turning up. So maybe I'll watch that after this recording.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, we're rambling at this point. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate you. Leave a like, drop a sub, all that shit. Don't forget your comments, and we
Yep.
will see you. When will we see you? Do we do a video?
We'll go Monday. Do a
Yeah,
recap. We'll
we'll keep it
recap
on Monday.
everything.
I was
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah,
do we do
yeah,
one after Origin? Nah, too much. We'll see you
yeah.
Monday. Catch you then.